The bank was quiet, the air cold and clean, with shiny floors that echoed with every step. Maya Richardson stood at the counter of Horizon National Bank, dressed in a simple blue suit. Her voice was calm, steady. "I'd like to withdraw $12,000 from my account, please," she said. But the branch manager, Karen, looked at her with doubt. "Ma'am," Karen said loudly so that others could hear. "As I've already explained, we can't process such a large cash withdrawal without extra verification. Especially for someone like you." People in the lobby turned their heads. Maya didn't react. She stayed quiet, her face calm. "I've given 2 government IDs, my account details, and I answered all your questions," Maya replied. "The money is mine. I just want to withdraw it." Karen crossed her arms. "Large withdrawals from unusual customers need extra approval." Behind Maya, the security guard, Trevor, moved closer, hand resting on his radio. The young teller, Zoe, looked down at her keyboard, clearly uncomfortable. Lucas, the loan officer, joined Karen. "Maybe you can step into my office," he said with a smirk. "We'd like to know what this cash is really for." Maya answered without hesitation. "It's for a community center renovation." Karen laughed. "A community center? And you're in charge of that kind of money? We'll need proof of your involvement." Lucas leaned closer, lowering his voice but still loud enough for everyone to hear. "People like you don't usually handle real charity work." Maya glanced toward the bank charter on the wall. Her name was at the bottom of it. Her signature. But no one here knew who she really was. Because this wasn't just any customer. This was Maya Richardson, the founder, CEO, and majority shareholder of Horizon National Bank. 15 years earlier, Maya had once been on the other side of the desk. She sat across from a loan officer who looked just like Lucas. Despite having an MBA and a perfect business plan, she was denied a loan for the 3rd time that month. "Banking is about relationships," he had said. "And frankly, Miss Richardson, you don't fit in this community." But Maya didn't give up. She used everything she had, even mortgaged her home. Then she convinced 12 local investors, teachers, doctors, small business owners, to join her in starting a bank that would treat everyone equally. Horizon National Bank was born inside a converted laundromat. Maya worked 18-hour days, reviewing every rejected loan by hand. Her first big client was a black-owned construction company that had been denied loans elsewhere. Within 2 years, that company grew and hired 50 employees. From one location, Horizon grew to 28 branches across 3 states. Maya made sure the bank stayed true to its purpose: respect, transparency, and service to all, no matter their background. 6 months ago, she had bought this branch from another company. Against her board's advice, she kept all the old staff. "I want to visit the branches secretly," Maya told her team, "to see how customers are really treated." And now, here she was, being treated like a suspicious outsider in her own bank. Maya could have ended the whole thing right there. She could have shown her CEO ID and watched Karen and Lucas panic. But she wanted to understand the deeper problem. She wanted to see the truth. So she stepped away from the counter and sat down quietly in the corner of the lobby. On her phone, she opened a private dashboard that only executives could access. The data was shocking. White customers waited an average of 4.2 minutes. Minority customers, 12.8 minutes. Loan approval for white applicants, 72%. For people of color, 37%. Customer satisfaction had dropped 24% in 3 months. But numbers couldn't tell the full story. So she watched. At 2:17 p.m., a white man in a golf shirt walked up. Karen greeted him like an old friend. Minutes later, he walked out with $20,000. No questions, no ID issues, no extra checks. At 2:24, an Asian woman tried to deposit business checks. Lucas told her to use the ATM, even though Horizon had no such policy. At 2:36, a black man in a nice suit asked about refinancing. "We're not taking applications this week," Karen lied. Maya kept watching. Trevor, the security guard, stayed close to every customer of color, adjusting his stance to look more intimidating. But when white customers walked in, he stood back by the door. At 2:43, a young Latino couple entered, asking to open their first savings account. Lucas quickly listed. Minimum balance rules. That didn't exist. The couple left, disappointed. Finally, Karen walked up to Maya again. Is there something else you need? She asked coldly. You've been sitting there for a while. I'm waiting for my withdrawal to be approved, Maya said calmly. Maybe someone else from the community center should come, Karen said. Someone with more financial experience. Maya asked to speak to the branch manager. You're speaking to her, Karen replied smugly. Then let's continue our conversation, Maya said, standing up. Karen led her to a glass office. Lucas followed. Trevor stood just outside. Everyone in the branch could see them. Karen started again. $12,000 is a lot of cash. People don't usually carry that unless they're doing questionable things. Lucas jumped in. Do you have documents showing you're with this community center? Maya said. I've already explained everything. I'm withdrawing my own money. Lucas frowned. We're just protecting you. Most people who carry that much cash don't know how to handle it. The insult was clear. Maya's voice stayed calm. What exactly makes you uncomfortable? My ID is valid. My funds are available. So what's the issue? Lucas finally said it. People like you usually aren't involved in legitimate charity work. That was it. The mask had fallen. Maya sent one quiet text from her phone. Protocol 17. Downtown headquarters, 10 miles away. Jackson Wells, the bank's chief operating officer, saw the alert and froze. In 15 years, Maya had never used Protocol 17. It was their highest-level emergency for racial discrimination. Within minutes, Jackson had security footage up on his screen. He watched the entire scene live, Karen's condescension, Lucas's disrespect, and Trevor's silent threat. Shut down the system, he said. Lock their terminals. I want every complaint log, every staff record, now. Back at the branch, every computer screen froze. A message appeared. System audit in progress. Stand by for executive authorization. Karen's phone rang. She answered nervously. No, we weren't told about any executive visit. Suddenly, the branch doors opened. Jackson walked in, tall and composed, a black leather folder in hand. He said nothing. He just stood and watched. Karen turned back to Maya, trying to act powerful. We're done here, she said. You can return when you have proper proof. Maya stood. May I see your employee handbook? Confused, Karen handed it over. Maya opened to the section on equal treatment. She read it out loud. Horizon National Bank is committed to treating all customers with respect, regardless of race or background. Then she looked at Karen. I needed to hear it from your policies. Karen was pale. Lucas was confused. That's when Jackson stepped forward. Karen, look at the branch charter on the wall, Maya said. Karen turned and read the name at the bottom. Maya Richardson, CEO and founder. Her mouth dropped open. Lucas backed away in disbelief. You're the CEO? Karen whispered. Maya nodded. Yes. And what just happened here is not acceptable. Jackson opened his folder. Inside were 3 termination letters. Karen Davis. Lucas Perkins. Trevor Michaels. Your employment is terminated for violating our anti-discrimination policies. Karen began crying. Please, I have a family. So do the people you've disrespected, Maya replied. Lucas protested. You can't do this. We already have, Jackson said. Security will escort you out. Trevor silently removed his badge. Maya walked over to Karen. Her voice was soft, but strong. The real test of character, she said, is how we treat people when we think they're powerless. 1 month later. The branch reopened with a new sign. Equity Model Branch, built on respect. Walls now showed murals of families from every background. Monitors displayed live service data, no more hiding numbers. Zoe, the young teller who had stayed silent that day, now stood confidently in a training session. Bias isn't always loud, she told new hires. Sometimes it's who we trust first, and who we doubt. Maya sat quietly in the back, smiling. A young woman held the door open and whispered, "Thank you for not letting them win." "I didn't win," Maya said. "We did." Have you ever been judged before people even knew your name? If this story touched your heart, like, share, and comment below. Subscribe for more powerful real-life stories. Because respect should never depend on your color, your name, or your silence.